You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
All right, you guys, salute everybody tapping on in, like, share, and subscribe as y'all come in the building, man. Make sure y'all follow me on Kick, man. Let's get those Kick followers up, man. The links in the description box below to the Kick, X, everywhere. TikTok, all over social media. Y'all can make sure y'all check me out. Links in the description box. And salute to everybody who donates to the stream, supports the channel. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo links in the description box below this video as well. We appreciate everybody who supports the channel, supports the network, man. And man, it just went down as this guy Clayton Howard, man, ex-escort, ex-sex worker, who was in the trial for Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura. That whole trial, he has just came out, man, and the pressure got to him. Now, I came out here and I told you guys that he had went from platform to platform, basically spreading all kind of slanderous things on Cassie Ventura's name, calling her everything but a child of God, sea bucket, all kind of stuff, right? That's what he was doing, name shaming her, even though he was in the same bed, you know, uh, you know, and he was doing these acts too. Well, this guy has come now and spoken out, and man, he made his situation even worse. So now that he got exposed because he tried to sue Cassie and Diddy, he went to court, and Cassie came out and exposed his ass with what I've already showed y'all. This right here, she put this in the paperwork filing. Cassie exposed this nigga, and she basically went on to the judge and showed this message that he wrote to Cassie's husband right after Cassie came out and filed the lawsuit and had those allegations against Diddy. Well, that went against everything Clayton Howard had went from interview to interview to interview to interview, telling people about Cassie, boosting Cassie's role. Because what he said in private when this first happened to Cassie's husband was completely different. But once again, as I told y'all, he did not know, in my opinion, that Cassie's husband didn't see this message because they didn't accept the message. Again, on Instagram, when you send somebody a message that's not following you, you have to hit accept or send. To the person who said Cassie left the United States doesn't mean anything. You guys don't read paperwork. Cassie's still cooperating with the case. She's still coming back to New York to cooperate with the case. That's in the case filing. See, y'all say stuff and y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all listen to crap on YouTube instead of getting the full story. The full story is, yes, Cassie moved out the country, but Cassie is still cooperating with these cases. That's how they found out she moved out the country, because she's the one who put it in the court filings. Tony Turner, you guys have to learn what's going on, brother, instead of just listening to people who don't know what the hell they talking about, brother. And Cassie has stated in the court filing she is willing to cooperate and will appear at all dates she is required to appear. But if you read the paperwork, you would know that. But y'all run with narratives that's spread by lies on social media, and y'all run with that as the gospel instead of doing what you're supposed to do, which is study to show thyself approved, brother. And if you did that, you would have already known that, and you would have came in here talking like that. But it's easy to cook people because when they come in here and they don't know what they're talking about, they get stir-fried. Now, this man got exposed after all those slanderous things he said about Cassie, and Cassie put out the letter that he sent her husband. Now, he's come out running his mouth, and he is ticked. So he just came out because when Cassie put this out, we all been stir-frying this dude. Like, bro, you went up there the whole time. You went on all the dialogue. You went on all these other YouTube channels talking about Cassie like a dog and saying that it was Cassie, that she was this, she was that. But you sent her husband this letter and smashed the like button. You sent her husband this message saying that Diddy forced her. You said this is gonna be weird, but it's something I've wanted to do for years. As I live with my own guilt and regrets, I know your wife's truth is 100% valid, as I'm sure you did as well. He's admitting today he wrote this. Now, and I'm going to tell you how this dude is a dark individual, bro, because I'm going to show y'all what he did today. It is sad what he did today. He said, I would have come forward, and I'm glad she got some form of justice. I personally saw that guy do a lot of shit that was super not cool. A lot of what I saw really bothered me because homie was effed up. But I knew she was in love and wouldn't leave despite being beaten up, punched in the chest in hotel rooms, choked, and forced into shit. Forced into shit, right? Forced into shit. I don't want to embarrass anyone with. I'm damn happy you saved her. You were in the right place when she was finally strong enough to leave. So he said she was weak. Blessings, right? I tried to reach out when I heard her suit because I know the situation intimately for almost 8 years. I'm glad she got something probably not near what she deserves, but if she's happy, that's all that matters. Best to you and your family. I really want her to know. Please tell Clayton says he's happy she made it out. This dude's a weasel. He's a snake. And I'm going to tell you why. He came out today. So he been getting stir fried. Ever since Cassie revealed that message he sent, he been getting annihilated. Because all he did was go out here and go to these different interviews, all the dialogue with all these other people, and talk about him like a dog. Talked about Cassie like a dog. Well, guess what, y'all? Well, when Cassie exposed that message I just sent y'all, Clayton Howard have been getting stir fried by all content creators online and all these people on X. Well, he had enough today. This man went live, and Lord have mercy, man. I'm about to let y'all hear what this fool said, man, and I'm about to destroy this dude. He went live, and bro, he admitted that he did send that message. That message is real. He admitted that message is not fake. He said that he was capping. Let me repeat myself again. He said that he was capping just to make her husband feel good. This dude is a weasel. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all. And y'all platform this guy and put this guy out here. This dude is the absolute. Now, I'm going to let y'all hear what he had to say. And then he went on to call Cassie more names today. Demonizer, call her all kind of sea buckets, all kind of stuff. When he kept going. And then he said that, oh, well, Cassie and them didn't tell me who they were, man. So, we're going to get to that right now. Let's go.
I'm Clayton Howard. I am the plaintiff suing Diddy and Cassie on these freak-offs that happened all these years ago with the male escorts and all of this stupidness that you now see all over social media. So for the last couple of months, audience, I've been quiet. I'm a law student. I'm not a professional prostitute. I'm not a male escort. All of that is being constantly circulated by the media has something to do with something that occurred in my past over 10 years ago.
Right. That's what we're talking about. Nobody says you're a current escort. Nobody says you're a current prostitute. We're talking about what happened in the past. You weren't an escort in the past. So what are you talking about, sir? You sitting up here acting like you a whole businessman. I'm a whole new businessman now. That's my past, bro. Stop playing these word games, bro. We don't play that shit. But let's stir fry this dude, because I'm gonna stir fry him.
That you now see all over social media. So for the last couple of months, audience, I've been quiet. I'm a law student. I'm not a professional prostitute. I'm not a male escort. All of that is being constantly circulated by the media has something to do with something that occurred in my past over 10 years ago. Audience, Cassie admitted to sex trafficking me. Cassie admitted to lying on me. Cassie admitted to creating an environment that was completely deceptive.
Cassie admitted that she was controlled by Sean Diddy Combs, the same thing that you admitted in this message to her. Cassie admitted that she was controlled and forced to do these things for Diddy. You left that part out, Clayton. The same thing that you admitted in this message to her husband, that she was forced. Forced, Clayton. She was forced. Are you listening, Clayton, to what we're saying? She was forced. You admitted in a letter to her husband, buddy, that she was forced to do these things. So now you come and trying to play semantics and say, oh, well, Cassie admitted to all those things. Yeah, she said that she was forced and beaten and bludgeoned and forced to do these things, which you admitted to. Stop playing, man. You can't play these games with somebody who's smarter than you, which is me.
a law student. I'm not a professional prostitute. I'm not a male escort. All of that is being constantly circulated by the media has something to do with something that occurred in my past over 10 years ago. Audience, Cassie admitted to sex trafficking me. Cassie admitted to lying on me. Cassie admitted to creating an environment that was completely deceptive of the truth of the narrative that what was going on, at least to me. People, by all legal terminology, that's coercion. If she wasn't...
No, sir. What is coercion is what Diddy did to her by forcing her physically and coercing her into doing these acts. That's coercion, sir. But you keep talking about something, Clayton Howard, when you were only with them for a certain period of time, sir. You weren't with Cassie and Diddy before you showed up. You only came when you showed up, Buster. When you showed up, that's all you know that happened, sir, is that you showed up and then you saw whatever happened when you showed up. And you said what you saw is Diddy beating the shit out of Cassie, choking her, and forcing her into shit. And you said that Cassie's claims was 100% valid. Nah. So now how are you coming later on after Cassie got that $30 million? Now trying to blame Cassie and sue Cassie, sir. This don't work on me, sir. Cut from a whole different cloth. I'm not like these other guys out here that act like and play like they don't know what they're talking about. You don't want to do this, Clayton. This is a whole different level. It's levels to this, Playboy. And if you want to go one-on-one with the great one, Clayton, just hit me up, dog. We can get the smoke anytime. Straight like that. Because I'll embarrass you. I'll embarrass you. And to the person said who really cares about this, you do, because you right here front row and center. Sit down and be quiet. See how easy it is to ether people? Now let's keep going.
To tell me who she really was and what was going on. People, she was lying to me. She hid her identity for multiple years.
Okay, you said she hid her identity for multiple years, but you also said that Diddy forced her into this. You said that in your message to her, sir, right? So let's talk about this, Clayton, because you're easy to beat. Bro, I swear, you pull this game off on people that don't know what they're talking about. Clayton Howard, you said that Cassie hid her identity from you for years. Well, Clayton, what happened when you knew who Cassie and Diddy were? Did you keep going? Or did you immediately stop and go contact the police? Game over. Clayton, you cannot beat me. I'm way too smarter than you. I'm on a whole different level, psychologically, mentally, spiritually. You cannot beat me, dog. Period. That New York jibber jabber talk you got, bro, don't nobody want to hear none of that. Like I said before, you said that Diddy and Cassie held their identities from you. Okay, cool. When you found out who Diddy and Cassie were, what did you do? Did you go report it to the cops? Did you suddenly get up and walk away and leave? Or did you continue doing freak offs and taking the money because, like you said in the Art of Dialogue interview, the money was good? Huh? You can't forget what you said, Clayton, because I remember everything you said, dog. I listen to everything, bro. I'm cut from a whole different cloth. I'm on a whole different level, brother. So when you said that Cassie and Diddy deceived you, and you didn't know who they were, they had costumes on, all this other stuff, right? That's what you said, right? Cool, no problem. You said that, right? No problem, Clayton. Well, Clayton, what happened when you continued after you found out who Diddy and Cassie were? Why didn't you stop immediately and go to the cops? Why not stop immediately, Clayton, and go right to the cops and report them? Or just stop going? Why keep going when you know that? Right? Let's keep going, y'all.
People, by all legal terminology, that's coercion. If she wasn't willing to tell me who she really was and what was going on, people, she was lying to me. She hid her identity for multiple years for the sole purpose of lying to me.
And when you knew her identity, Clayton, did you stop or did you become a part of it? Answer that question. Did you continue? That's all I want to know, Clayton. Did you continue, Clayton? And Clayton, we know you continued. The question is, why did you continue? Well, guess what, Clayton? I have the interview right here where you told all the dialogue, man, that money was good, man. So when you found out who Diddy and Cassie were, sir, since you're so righteous, why didn't you stop immediately and say, oh, no, man? It wasn't mattering who it was the whole time. You kept going still. Talking about they was trafficking you under false pretense. You kept going. You kept going. Cassie had a costume on the whole time she was having sex with you, dog. Well, you couldn't see her face the whole time, and y'all having sex for hours. Man, I got a bridge in Idaho to sell you, buddy. Let's keep going.
Convincing me that herself and Sean Combs was husband and wife. So, audience, how can I be a liar if this woman admitted all of this on the stand during?
Well, you're a liar, sir, because on the stand, she also admitted that she was forced, she was beaten, and she was bludgeoned into doing these things, the same thing you said in your message to her husband, sir. And you admitted that you wrote that message to her husband. But now, since you got caught in your shit and you didn't know Cassie and them seen that message because they didn't accept the message. So when they don't accept the message, it doesn't say that the message was read. So you can delete the message on your end, but you didn't know that they saw it and screenshotted it on their end. And Cassie and them was smart. They screenshotted the part at the very bottom, y'all, that says accept, delete, block, so that you guys can see they didn't even accept his message. It was there. They screenshotted it. Learn how IG works. You made a wrong move, Clayton, and it's going to backfire on you, son. Let's keep going.
A federal criminal trial. Cassie has filed a motion to dismiss. But audience, Cassie has not disputed any of my allegations.
She actually did. She disputed your allegations because she put up what you said. You were a character witness for her. You were a witness to all of this who said that Cassie was beaten and forced into this. You literally said that in your letter to her husband. You literally said that you would be a witness for Cassie. You literally said that. The day she filed that lawsuit, and you seen she filed that lawsuit, you wrote her husband. And you said you were willing to be a witness for Cassie. That she was 100% telling the truth. That's what you said. Now, all of a sudden, now you want to change your whole story up. Oh, well, Cassie admitted these things in court. Yeah. Tell her what else she admitted. She admitted that she was beaten and that she was forced into doing these things by Diddy. The same thing you admitted, sir. The same thing that the other dude admitted, Daniel Phillips. That why Daniel Phillips ain't suing Cassie and Diddy. Daniel Phillips know what time it is. He know what time it is. Why ain't some of the other sex workers, the Punisher and those guys, suing Cassie and Diddy? They know what's up. Ask these questions, sir. Answer these questions, sir. Let's keep going. Because this is what happens, y'all. He got so upset, he started to get disrespectful. He got so upset, he started to, and this is the reason why the feds didn't use his testimony, because he's a flip-flopper. And this is the same reason why Diddy's team didn't use his testimony. They don't trust him. Nobody trusts him. Let's keep going.
Her motion to dismiss attacks me on timeliness of the allegations, stating that, because it happened X amount of years ago.
No, not timeliness of the allegations. The timeliness that you decided to file that lawsuit, sir. Not allegations. See, this is what you read what she wrote. She wrote inside of her letter to you, a letter to the court, sir, that when she got paid is when you decided to come sue. Remember, y'all, it was revealed in court. Nobody knew that Cassie had gotten a settlement. It was revealed in the trial that Cassie got $30 million. When everybody found out Cassie got $30 million, that's when this dude turned around and sued Cassie. Why he ain't sue Cassie that whole time when he found out what was going on? Remember? Pay attention to the details, y'all. Pay attention to the details. Let's keep going. And Clayton, anytime you want smoke with me, dog, I want all smoke with you, bro. Well, I ain't ducking no smoke. One-on-one, you can come up here. I'm not ducking no smoke with you. I'm going to do you disgusting when you come up here, sir, because you lied. You put in this letter right here that we have right, and you admitted to writing this, Clayton. And guess what, Clayton? It's so bad that you admitted, and you claim now that you lied in this letter. So you admitted that you wrote this note to Cassie's husband, but now you're saying, I lied. So which one is it? Which one is it, sir? What day are you lying, and what day are you telling the truth? This case is going to get thrown from here to Afghanistan by the judge. See right through you, dog.
Now it's too late to charge her or seek action against her. Her motion to dismiss tries to use a text message sent by me to her husband, trying to respect her marriage and not blow her up for the come down.
So you're going to respect her marriage, not blow her up, But you went on all these interviews and blew her up before she even responded to any lawsuit that you gave her. Let me say this again, Clayton. Clayton, you can't beat me. I'm too smart for you, boy. I'm way too smart for you. So you wanted to protect that situation, even though you the first one who publicly spoke about this. You the first one that publicly went out there and trashed Cassie after the case. When you saw it was popular to do it, you went out and did all of interviews and trashed Cassie. That's what you did, dog. Keep it 100, brother. You cannot beat me in this. I'm too smart. I'm way too smarter for these guys. It's easy to break them down. So now he telling y'all, I lied to Cassie's husband because I wanted him to feel good. Man, he needs you to make him feel good. He needs you. He had a front row seat. Why he needs you to make him feel good when he had a front row seat to all of this? Wasn't he working for Diddy? Make it make sense. Hey, now so he trying to say he came in with a cape on, with her husband trying to, I'll testify for him. That's why they ain't even trust you, bro. That's why they ain't put you on the stand, bro. Like, nah, man, they ain't put this dude on the stand, man. This dude right here, man. Diddy's team wouldn't even put you on the stand. They don't even like you. Diddy's team is saying, man, we'll take you. Let's go to court. This is what happens when you play both sides, bro. Doesn't work, bro. And it definitely don't work on me. I got too much brains.
Her motion to dismiss attacks me on timeliness of the allegations, stating that, because it happened X amount of years ago, now it's too late to charge her or seek action against her. Her motion to dismiss tries to use a text message sent by me to her husband, trying to respect her marriage and not blow her up for the cum dumpster she actually is.
Why all the name calling? Why all the name calling and demonizing? Right? You said that you got certain things. So if Cassie was that, what were you? What do you call yourself? What do you call yourself, sir? If you call Cassie all these things, what do you call yourself? He have no criticism of himself, but he got all this criticism of Cassie. Notice how he don't talk about Diddy like that. Yeah, you don't talk about Diddy like that. You just talk about Cassie, brother. Yeah, brother. Yeah. That's right. Listen to what he say, y'all. He got a foul mouth, boy. He was mad about this. He called Cassie that sea bucket again. Listen to him.
Now it's too late to charge her or seek action against her. Her motion to dismiss tries to use a text message sent by me to her husband, trying to respect her marriage and not blow her up for the cum dumpster she actually is. Now, audience, I'm going to state something for a fact because Clayton Howard is no liar. I most certainly sent that text message to Alex Fine. And it was.
So if you're no liar, why are you saying you lied in this message? Boy, you was better off not saying nothing, boy. If you ain't no liar, why you just not, why, if you're not a liar, why would you admit that you lied in this message? You sat up here and buttoned up your suit when you said that too. They can't see you when this fool buttoned up his suit when he said that. Clayton Howard is no liar. Yes, you are, sir. You just came out and said that you lied about everything in this message to Cassie's husband. But you want us to believe that you're not a liar. But you lied about everything in this message to Cassie's husband. Let's keep going, y'all. He easy to beat.
Trying to respect her marriage and not blow her up for the cum dumpster she actually is. Now, audience, I'm going to state something for a fact because Clayton Howard is no liar. I most certainly sent that text message to Alex Fine, and it wasn't because Cassandra Ventura is a truthful woman. It was because Alex Fine, being a man who simply was in love with a woman, he had no knowledge of the truth of what really happened with Cassie because he wasn't in those rooms.
So your explanation was to lie. And you said he had no knowledge. You don't know what Cassie told him. See, this is another thing, Clayton. You don't know what Cassie told that man. Cassie could have told him all this truth before, and he accepted it. And he accepted her as her. See, you, Clayton Howard, you have weasel tactics. I'm going to tell you why, sir. Why would you come on here, write this heartfelt letter to her husband saying, hey, man, she's 100% right, man. I'm willing to go testify for y'all, man. Diddy beat her. He choked her out. He forced her in the shit. I witnessed it, man. I saw it, man. and then come on YouTube talking about some, or you go on social media talking about some, yeah, man, you know, I did that just because I ain't want to hurt his feelings. But Clayton, I'm not no liar though. Nigga, you just said that you lied to him. you just said that you lied to him. Bro, your case is gonna get thrown out of the court. The worst thing you did was go make this video, dog. Cause any lawyer worth their salt would tear your ass up on a stand. This is easy work. I wish I was the lawyer against you. Boy, your ass right now, I had you running out the courtroom, begging for mercy. Straight like that. You ain't coming here telling all these old Fonzo the Bear lies, boy. Listen to what he said again.
Actually is. Now, audience, I'm going to state something for a fact because Clayton Howard is no liar. I most certainly sent that text message to Alex Fine, and it wasn't because Cassandra Ventura is a truthful woman. It was because Alex Fine, being a man who simply was in love with a woman, he had no knowledge of the truth of what really happened with Cassie.
How does this weasel know what knowledge her husband had? How does he know? He doesn't know what Cassie told that man. He wasn't in the bedroom with them. He wasn't in their private, intimate conversations. How does Clayton Howard know what Cassie told her husband? Make it make sense. He act like he do know. This dude don't know what he do. He thinks he's too smart. He thinks he's too smart for his own good. He thinks he's too smart for his own good. This is the type of dude who thinks he's smarter than everybody else till he meets somebody that's smarter than him. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else till he meets somebody that's smarter than him. You said Clayton Howard ain't no liar. But you just admitted that you told lies, in your opinion, to Cassie's husband about Cassie. Sir. Let's keep going.
Because he wasn't in those rooms. So out of respect for this guy,
the same way you said he wasn't in those rooms, you weren't in the room with Diddy and Cassie before you arrived. You don't know what happened. Diddy could have beat the shit out of Cassie and said, if you ain't do this freak off and do whatever I tell you you're going to do now, you're going to get another beating. Maybe even worse. But remember, Clayton, you weren't in those rooms at first. You only came in the room when it was your time to perform. You, Clayton Howard, when it was time to perform, that's the only time you came in those rooms. And since you were so upset and you said you was trafficked and all these things, right? All these things you claim. You said, I didn't know it was Diddy and Cassie. I didn't know. Clayton. And you said you wasn't no escort and these things, but you admitted in that interview with Art of Dialogue that you had did this numerous times. You admitted that you did that before Diddy and them. With other couples. You admitted that. I'm going to play that interview too. Just to embarrass your whole lies even more, sir. So you were used to these type of escapades, according to your words. And I'm going to play the interview in its entirety so everybody can hear what you said. Shout out to my boy Art of Dialogue, right? And listen to this.
I didn't contact him and say, yo, your wife is a cum-catching, cum-dumpster alive. I tried to contact him with a velvet glove.
A velvet glove. So you didn't try to contact him. So you contacted her husband and told her husband a whole lie because you trying to protect him. But now you claim I'm telling the truth, man. Clayton Howard was not a liar. This dude is disgusting. He is the absolute disgraceful individual. Anybody to deal with a guy like this, I'm telling you, man, for him to talk like this, the way he talked, it's crazy. You would admit to writing all of this, and now you're basically admitting in your words that this was a lie. But then you want people to think, no, man, I'm not a liar, man. Which one is it, buddy? Let's keep going, y'all.
Hoping that contacting him favorably would allow Cassandra to reach out to me to explain to me the things that I was hearing in the media. Because, audience, I knew she was lying from the beginning of when I first heard the media report.
So you're saying that you tried to set Cassie's husband up. You tried to tell him, yeah, man, you know, I tried to set him up. I told him that everything that Cassie was doing was forced by Diddy. and that Diddy was beating on her and choking her. And I did that because I wanted him to make Cassie get in contact with me so that I could get Cassie to tell me why she did all those things to me. Boy, this dude right here is disgusting. This is one of the most disgustingest things I've ever seen.
Because he wasn't in those rooms. So out of respect for this guy, I didn't contact him and say, yo, your wife is a cum-catching, cum-dumpster liar. I tried to contact him with a velvet glove, hoping that contacting him...
Wait, let me ask you a question. Now, you said that Cassie was a sea-catching, sea-dumpster, right? That's what you said right now, right? Let me ask you a question, Clayton. Since you said all those things about Cassie, did you ever kiss her in her mouth? Did you ever kiss her in her mouth? I mean, you said that she was a sea-catching, sea-dumpster. Clayton, I'm going to ask you this question, dog. Did you ever kiss Cassie in her mouth? Clayton, I got a better question for you, dog. Clayton, did you ever eat the box? Clayton, come on, Clayton. Come on, man. Come on, man. All those years, did you ever kiss Cassie? Did you ever eat the box, man? You said she was this nasty of a person. But that's my question for you, dog. Because, see, you already admitted y'all was having unprotected sex. So the question for you is, were you kissing Cassie in the mouth? Were you eating that box? Because if you did, well, what does that make you? If you did, well, that would make you a guy who kisses and eats the box of a, what you call her? You called her a sea-catching, sea-dumpster? Yeah, man. Doesn't sound too good, Clayton. Clayton, I would be your worst nightmare in a courtroom.
Favorably would allow Cassandra to reach out to me to explain to me the things that I was hearing in the media. Because, audience, I knew she was lying from the beginning of when I first heard the media reports. Now, audience, you should know something that's really very valid, that the Wigdor law firm seemed to leave out of their arguing that I'm trying to go after Cassie's money. People, I was directed to the U.S. Attorney's Office by the Wigdor law firm. Cassie's a victim of domestic violence. She is. She gets credit for that, people. Diddy beat her. Diddy treated her horribly in his drug-induced state. But he didn't make her sleep with all those black...
Okay, brother. So let's get this straight. So you are saying that Diddy beat her and he did all these things to her brother. Why do you think Diddy beat that woman? You think Diddy just beat it for the hell of it? You think Diddy just woke up, man, and just started beating on Cassie because that was just the thing to do? I want you to really use critical thinking skills, Clayton. Why would Diddy beat Cassie? Why? A girl who weighs damn near 80 pounds less than him. Why would he beat Cassie? I want you to think about this. There's only one reason why Diddy would beat Cassie, Clayton. One reason. And Clayton, you keep saying she wanted it. She wanted it. Brother, once again, I would tear you up in a courtroom, man. You can only talk about the time you were there, Buster. You can't talk about what happened before you arrived. Because just like you said about Cassie's husband, Clayton, you wasn't in the room, boy. So Diddy could have did what you saw him always do, which is beat the shit out of Cassie, kick Cassie, choke Cassie, and tell her when he come in this room, you better do everything I'm telling you to do right now and make it look good. You ever thought about that, Clayton? So when you arrived, all you saw was Cassie pleasing you and trying to be in a good mood. Why? Because you weren't there to know what happened before you arrived, Buster. Now, see how easy it is to beat you with your own words? You said Alex Fine, Cassie's husband, can't speak on nothing because he wasn't there. You was there. You was in the room. But you was only in the room for a certain period of time when it was time for you to come and perform. Outside of that, you weren't in their life. So you had no idea, and you can speak on nothing else. You can only speak on what you saw in the room. That's why I told people, you know what? Maybe some of what he's saying is true when he says that, hey, I feel like Cassie was down for it because he only saw a certain part of Cassie's life, right? But then when he wrote that letter and told Cassie's husband that he witnessed all of these things and that Diddy forced that girl and choked her and beat her and forced her into these things and she was 100% valid. Well, Clayton, that's why your case is going to get thrown out, at least against Cassie. And Diddy's telling you he want to take your ass to court. He want to go to trial against you because they know that you're all over the place. Why are you even suing Diddy? If Diddy didn't have no control, why are you suing Diddy? Why not just focus on Cassie? Because Diddy's a real money man. Yep. That's what it is, Clayton, right? Now, Clayton, you said something else, and I want to get to that right now.
Diddy beat her. Diddy treated her horribly in his drug-induced state, but he didn't make...
Now, you said drug-induced. Oh, that shows coercion, Buster. Don't you know coercion can be used with drugs? Didn't you admit that Cassie would take drugs? Well, how do you think Cassie got those drugs? I wonder who got Cassie hooked onto those drugs. That's coercion, Buster. The beatings were forced, Buster. You want to keep doing this? But you guys want to play this little game and act like, oh, domestic violence, that ain't nothing, man. No. You have to ask, why is a person use domestic violence on a woman? Why does a man have to beat a woman? I ain't never seen a man beat no woman that's doing everything he want her to do. I've never seen it. Show me a man that's constantly beating up a woman that's doing everything to his will. Yeah, baby, I'm so happy that you did everything I asked you to do. Now come over here and get this beating. That doesn't make no sense. It happens when a woman is rebelling and not doing what you want them to do. Right? So that's what happened with Cassie. She didn't want to do all these things Diddy wanted her to do, and she got beat for it. And you guys, who are absolute busters, will come around here and make these lame ass excuses. Oh man, it was just domestic violence. But you don't know how to tie domestic violence into the control of this woman. Why? Because it's buster activity. Let's keep going.
Her sleep with all those black guys, people. She slept with all of those escorts. She slept with all of those black men, those minority men, because the truth of the matter is, Cassandra Ventura is a whore. She...
But you're not. So let's get this right. Cassie, you said, is a 304. But you openly admitted to the Art of Dialogue that you had did this in other relationships with other people. So, but you're not. You're holy art thou. Right? Right? You was out here slanging D unprotected, like it was going out of style, son. But you call Cassie a whore. Think about this, y'all. He won't even accept his own faults. He won't. He won't. And this is the problem I have with guys like this. And I'm expose you with your own words.
did this because she is sexually promiscuous and she actually...
So she's sexually promiscuous. Once again, we go back to the control, beatings, all these things. And I'll make it simple for everybody who's listening to this video. When y'all were all growing up, how many times were you at home and maybe you had just got a spanking or something like that, or your parents may have gotten into an argument and a guest came over to the house and the guest might have pulled up and you seen it and your parents, everything changed instantly. Because when the guest came over, they didn't want the guest to know something bad had just happened. So when the guest walks in the house, ain't nobody crying, everybody chilling. So the guests, they only see what they see through their perspective because They didn't see what happened before they came over there. They didn't see the crying. They didn't see the spanking. They didn't see the correction. They only walked in the house and saw everybody chilling. Use your mind, Clayton. Clayton, you're not smarter than me. And any day, Clayton, that you want this smoke, I'll give you your smoke. Any day, Clayton. I can get all the dialogue to set it up. Any day you want that smoke, Clayton, I make it look bad for you, brother. I make it look bad for you, brother.
Testified to, she has ability controlling her sexual organs. She's a nymphomaniac, from what I believe the transcript said. Audience, I'm not going to go back and forth with the Wigdall law firm trying to use outside media sources to attack my personal life, hoping that that's enough to convince a jury down the line that Cassie was telling the truth to facts she testified to during a federal trial. Audience, you may not like me, but here's the truth. I was victimized by Cassandra Ventura. She lied to me. She lied to dozens of other men for years while she traveled all around the world, not even the country, people, allowing herself to be a cum dumpster for a billionaire who she hoped would marry her at the end of her sacrifice of her soul and body, and it didn't happen. So when she realized that she threw 10 years of her life away and put 1,000,000 miles on her vagina for absolutely nothing, she retaliated against Diddy, she lied to federal prosecutors, and she just injected some of the real domestic violence over there to cover her own criminal conduct and to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend.
Okay. So this was allowed on the screen there, what you said. You said you witnessed that. So now we supposed to believe that what you're saying right there is the truth, Clayton. But everything that you told her husband when Cassie first came out with these allegations, all that was false that you said. Dude, you're a buster, man. And you're a sad individual, brother. And it's going to blow up in your face. You're not going to win a dime, brother. In fact, the judge is going to throw that case all the way out of court, brother. I'm just letting you know what's going to happen. You don't have a case. And also, Cassie testified in court that she was not only controlled, but she was victimized, and she was basically coerced by Diddy, plied with drugs, and all these other things, sir. And you, sir, you know, I'm gonna tell you something, Clayton. God don't like ugly, brother. God don't like ugly, brother. And you did something, Clayton. You did something that it's gonna forever haunt you, brother. You said all these things and talked about how you're not I ain't no escort, all these other things. This is all this stuff you said, right? This was 10 years ago, blah, 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 blah. And Cassie, man, they didn't tell me what they was doing, man. It was like, you said that like it was something new that you had never experienced. And that they under some type of false pretenses, trafficked you and all these other things, even though when you knew who Diddy and Cassie was, you kept going. You didn't immediately stop. You didn't stop after the first time. You kept going. You kept going, Clayton. Mm-hmm. You even admitted to all the dialogue in that interview that the money was good. You kept going. You even admitted to being in contests, and I'm showing off on Diddy's girl. You admitted that you was, yeah, dog. So now you doing this? Ain't gonna work on somebody who got brains like myself. You got exposed. You wrote that letter, and it exposed everything about who you really are as a person. You writing that letter. And I want to show everybody what you said. I'm going to put it in full context. I'm going to put it in full context, you guys. Show y'all what he woke up to. Now, I want everybody to listen to this video. I want everybody to listen to this again. Because Clayton Howard, I'm going to tell y'all this right now, man. What a horrible type of person to lie in a letter, right? And then come out and say, oh, I'm lying because, no, we don't want to hear that. You said you was keeping it real. You said you was standing on business. You said you was on code, telling the truth, brother. If that's the case, why not stay on code and tell the truth, brother? Why would you have to lie in this letter to her husband? You had no reason to write this letter to her husband to lie. But now you're saying you did it because you didn't want to make him feel bad. But that was you saying that you told her husband a lie. But now we supposed to believe that you're telling the truth. No, sir. No, sir. And one last thing, Clayton. I'm going to play all of these lying things that you said. I'm going to play this right now for everybody. Right? And everybody gets to read that message you wrote to Cassie, husband, when you said that Cassie was forcing all these things. But then you went to Art of Dialogue, sir. Right? You went to Art of Dialogue. And this is what you did. Let's put this on the screen. We're going to put this on the screen. Right? You went to Art of Dialogue, buddy. And you did this. Let's go.
Would collect the semen in the cup and Diddy.
Hold on. Hold on, you guys. My bad.
White women love an in-shape, dark-skinned black man. And it was pretty profitable for a while. I want to say 60
y'all let me know if y'all can hear that in the
comment
comment section.
Call from Cassie, calling the.
Can y'all hear that in the comment section when I played that? Everybody let me know in the comment section if y'all can hear that. I paused it right now. Let me know if y'all can hear that. I just want to know if y'all can hear that. Because we finna get surgical on this cat. Could y'all hear that? Y'all can hear that? I believe y'all could. We're going to get surgical on this guy.
How she would collect the semen in the cup. And that really your, manhood. Yeah, that's mine. She's like, all right, I'm in the London hotel in New York. You want to come see me? We go through the subtleties and I'm called to the London. That's the first time I meet Cassie.
And when you first met her, how did that go?
When I first met her, it was dope. I was obviously surprised by how beautiful she was. I never expected a woman that gorgeous to open the door. Never. I remember when she opened the door, I was so stuck. I was looking at her like, wow, look at this woman. And she actually had to speak to me just to snap me out of it. Like, yo, bro, hey, Dave. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So it was it was a lot to first see her, and it immediately put my guard up because she was too attractive. I'm like, why is this woman paying some guy to come here and give her a massage? She could get anybody to get her a massage. Why does she want me to get her a massage? And I would find out later it had nothing to do with a massage. She wanted me to give her the works.
So how did she first bring that up to you, that she wanted to have sex with you?
Let's see. I walk into the suite with her, beautiful suite. I'm sitting in the living room. We talk for a few minutes. She offers me a drink, whatever. We're just like basically getting to know each other. She then says, let me see what you're working with. I said, okay, cool. By then I was a little drunk. I had a few drinks. I'm like, all right. I show her. She starts salivating. She's like, yeah, that's what's up. She says, all right. She takes out a joint. She passes me a joint. This is when she tells me that her husband is there and he wants to watch. Now, prior to this, she never told me she was with anyone else. She tells me at this point that he's there. He's cool. He's into her being satisfied by guys that are larger than him. He's really into the lifestyle. She starts to explain to me that they're swingers. They do their little, like swinging stuff.
So
she
asked me, did I have
a problem with him watching? Now, considering my past clients, I had no problem with him watching because I had done this with the 3 or 4. I actually think I had like 5 solid clients by then. And usually when husbands called me to give me their wives, they usually watched the first encounter if it went to a sexual encounter.
Woo! They usually watch the first encounter to if it went to a sexual encounter. This man admitted to doing these types of things before. And he claimed in this interview that Cassie was breaking down all of these things to him. So he says, I was coercing to doing this. No, you said Cassie broke all this stuff down to you, sir. You said the only thing you didn't know is who was Cassie and who Diddy was at that time. But you said in this interview with all the dialogue, sir, and this is why I tell y'all, you get ethered and all this going to get played in court. If it go to court, which I think is going to get thrown out on Cassie's end, bro, this is all going to get played in court. You're done, son. You're done. You sat right up here and explained that Cassie broke it all down to you. So she didn't just drug you and then get you in the bed. No. You said that she broke it all down to you. That's what you said.
Then she even asked you if Diddy could have, if you could allow, you said she asked you if you had a problem with Diddy watching. So they ain't even violate you and have Diddy watching without her asking you, according to your words. According to your words. This is why right here, you don't do interviews in cap. Because if you got a Negro like me in the building, you'll get stir-fried. Because I don't miss nothing. I catch everything, brother. I get the whole slab. I don't miss nothing. Let's keep going.
How she would collect the semen in the cup and safe. So when, Cassie said this to me, I was kind of, I want to say, numb to the situation of someone to me that they're swingers. They do their little, swing. She.
Listen what he said.
How she would collect the semen in the cup, and Diddy with baby oil went to the dark corner, sat in the corner.
Hold on, stop.
Cassie comes up to me. When I first met her, it was dope. I was obviously surprised by how beautiful she was. I never expected a woman that gorgeous to open the door. Never. I remember when she opened the door, I was so stuck. I was looking at her like, wow, look at this woman. And she actually had to speak to me just to snap me out of it. Like, yo, bro, hey, Dave. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So it was a lot to first see her, and it immediately put my guard up because she was too attractive. I'm like, why is this woman paying some guy to come here and give her a massage? She could get anybody to get her a massage. Why does she want me to get her a massage?
Now,
and I would find out later it had nothing to do with a massage.
Now let's stop right there.
How
he says, why is she coming to give me a massage? Right? So that's where the pretenses of what he thought was going to happen. But this is where it blows his whole case up. He then says that after he gets there, Cassie explains everything to him. Therefore, it's no longer force, fraud, or coercion, buddy. Because your interview right here with the art of dialogue, you not only said that Cassie broke it all down to you, you said that you had experience in these type of situations because husbands would give their wives to you and they would watch to see if it would go to sex. You're done, Clayton. Give it up, dog. The jig is up, bro. The jig is up. The jig is up.
She would
Clayton,
collect the semen in the cup, dog. And Diddy
like
5 solid clients by then.
Listen, y'all.
Wanted me to give it a works.
So how did she first bring that up to you, that she wanted to have sex with you?
Let's see. I walk into the suite with her. Beautiful suite. I'm sitting in the living room.
Sitting down.
We talk for a few minutes. She offers me a drink, whatever. We're just like basically getting to know each other.
Just know each other.
She then says, let me see what you're working with.
Let me see what you're working with.
I said, okay, cool.
Okay. I said, okay,
cool. Then I was a little drunk. I had a few drinks. I'm like, all right. I show her. She starts salivating. She's like, yeah, that's what's up. She says, all right. She takes out a joint. She passes me a joint. This is when she tells me that her husband is there and he wants to watch. Now, prior to this, she never told me she was with anyone else. She tells me at this point that he's there, he's cool.
And you didn't get up and leave.
He's into her being satisfied by guys that are larger than him. He's really into the lifestyle.
Clayton, you could have got up and left right then. If you was not cool with this, you could have just got up and walked out, brother. You could have. Why didn't you get up right then, Clayton, and just walk out? Clayton, we have to ask these questions, brother. Why didn't you just get up and leave? If you wasn't down with this, if this wasn't what you wanted, this wasn't the play, why didn't you just get up and walk out? True story. Why not get up and walk out? Think about this, y'all. He said, man, I was coercing all these things. No. She sat you down and talked to you, dog. And you could have got up and walked out. Now, listen to y'all. Listen, right? He ain't gonna call in over here. He gonna get stir fried. If he come around here, I'm gonna stir fry him. I double dog dare him to pull up in here. I'm gonna stir fry him. Now let's keep going. It's gonna be crazy if he come up in here. Tell y'all that right now. Let's keep going, y'all. Now listen to what he's saying, y'all. He's letting y'all know he had every opportunity to get up and walk out. But he continued the conversation. And then he admitted that he had been in situations where husbands had given their wives to him. Listen to what he said. This is his own words, not mine.
A drink. how
Listen,
she
hold on,
would
hold on,
collect the
let's go back
semen
here
in the
one
cup
time.
and Diddy
Right
would
here
be
one time. Hold
trailing
on,
right behind her
Here we
like a
go.
little kid who married to
Hold on.
this. She never told me she was with anyone else.
Right?
She tells me at this point, she starts salivating. She's like, yeah, that's what's up. She says, all right. She takes out a joint. She passes me a joint. This is when she tells me that her husband is there and he wants to watch.
So she told you Diddy
now,
was
prior
there.
to this, she never told me she was
Right?
with anyone
Didn't tell you
else.
nobody prior.
She tells me at this point that he's there. He's
Right.
cool.
So you could have got up and
he's
left.
into her being satisfied by guys
Right.
that are larger than him.
But you didn't leave.
He's really into the lifestyle. She
You
starts
still
to
didn't
explain
leave.
to me that they're swingers.
You
They
still
do their
didn't
little,
leave.
what, like swinging stuff.
You still didn't
She asked
leave.
me, did I have a problem with him
Do
watching?
you have a problem?
Now, considering my past clients, I had no problem with him
So you
watching
had no
because I
problem
had
with him
done this
watching.
with the 3 or
Game
4.
over.
I actually think I had like 5 solid clients
I
by
had
then.
no problem, he
And
said.
usually when husbands
Hold on,
call,
y'all. He said I had no problem with him watching. Game over. What is he talking about? I do this for real, boy. I do this for real. You said you had no, she told you he was going to watch. And you said I had no problem based off of your prior experience. You said that. Too many interviews, brother. When you do all these interviews, you forget some things you say sometimes. I do this for real.
how she would collect
Boy,
the
I ain't
semen in the
seen
cup
parole in
and
a
Diddy
minute.
would be trailing right
Hold on, y'all.
behind her like a little. She starts salivating. How she
Listen
would
to the
collect
lies,
the
y'all. Hold
semen
on.
in the cup
Listen to
and
the
Diddy
lies,
would be
y'all.
trailing right
Listen
behind her
closely,
like a
y'all.
little kid who mommy face covered with a baseball cap. I think it was Pittsburgh because it had a yellow. How she would collect the semen in the cup to this. She never told me she was with anyone else. She tells me at this point that he's there, he's cool, he's into her being satisfied by guys that are larger than him. He's really into the lifestyle. She starts to explain to me that they're swingers. They do their little, like swinging stuff. She asked me, did I have a problem with him watching? Now, considering my past clients, I had no problem with him watching because I had done this with the 3 or 4. I actually think I had like 5 solid clients by then. And usually when husbands called me to give me their wives, they usually watched the first encounter if it went to a sexual encounter. So they would basically sit in the room and watch to make sure their wife is safe. So when Cassie said this to me, I was kind of, I want to say, numb to the situation of someone watching me from a voyeur standpoint. So I said, cool, no problem. And he came down. He was really quiet. He had his face covered with a baseball cap. I think it was Pittsburgh because it had a yellow P on it and his bandana wrapped around his nose and his mouth. He spoke to me like, yeah. I said, yeah. Barely said a word. Immediately grabbed a bottle of baby oil, went to the dark corner, sat in the corner. Cassie comes up to me. She starts talking to me, complimenting my body, my chest. She asked Diddy, can she begin? Can she touch me? He told her no, put the baby oil on.
So Diddy told her no.
That was my education that night.
Hold on, y'all. He said that she asked Diddy. Now, this nigga is telling y'all that Cassie did all this on her own will, but she had to ask Diddy. Yo, Diddy, can I touch this nigga? Man, bro, I would take, bro. I swear to God, if me and this dude was in court, bro, he walk out of court crying. I'm sorry, man. I should have never came this route. I'd annihilated this dude in court. Annihilated him. It'd have been complete, total destruction in court. Not even a question. He called Cassie that, but said, hey, I had 5 other clients before them. Come on, man. Stop this. What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's keep going. The lies get even worse.
How she would collect the semen in the cup and Diddy would be face covered with a baseball cap. I think it was Pittsburgh because it had a yellow P on it and his bandana wrapped around his nose and his mouth. He spoke to me like, yeah. I said, yeah. Barely said a word. Immediately grabbed a bottle of baby oil, went to the dark corner, sat in the corner. Cassie comes up to me. She starts talking to me, complimenting my body, my chest. She asked Diddy, can she begin? Can she touch me? Diddy. He told her no, put the baby oil on. And that was my education that night into how the next 8 years would be.
Diddy
so he was cool with a man having a bigger manhood than him. He was turned on by that.
Y'all see this?
Yes, he was. There were even encounters where I remember specifically with the gentleman who testified first for the trial, Daniel Phillip. I remember when this guy paid us for the orgy with Cassie, that he was actually looking at me and Daniel Phillip, and he was like, yo, if I had you guys, you know, like manhood, I wouldn't even have to work. I wouldn't have to do nothing. And me and Daniel Phillip looked at each other like, whoa, what the hell is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Do you
But
think he
y'all didn't
hired you
leave?
because you can please Cassie in ways he couldn't?
Oh, absolutely.
But you didn't leave?
Absolutely. You know, I don't like to talk this way about Cassie because she does deserve the respect of the confidentiality of our sexual encounter. But I think she kind of forwent that by speaking about it herself and bringing this before the media. But when I used to have sex with Cassie, Cassie used to come like that, literally like that. I don't know how. Like I watched her and Diddy have sex. He wasn't doing what I was doing. I would have sex with her in maybe 5 minutes. She'd squirt and come all over the place.
Doing what I was doing.
She was an incredibly sexual young woman.
But he said that he was
incredibly
coerced.
sexual.
When was the next time y'all met up after the first meeting?
Well, after that encounter, it went for probably, I want to say, a little under a day. But the funny part is when I was leaving, Cassie actually comes to me and she's like, yo, that was great. Can you stay longer? I had been there maybe 12 hours already. So I'm like, you're going to pay me again, right? And
but I thought he was coerced. Cassie said, can you stay longer? He said. But he said that he was coerced. How are you coerced when they asked you, bro, can you stay a little bit longer? He says, it's going to be more money? Bro, this dude's case is going to get thrown out of court, man. This is how I tell y'all. This is how you cook dudes like this. Stir fry. Stir fry. Bruh's barbecue. Tastes so good. Y'all know the rest. Y'all know the rest. And these dudes come out here and he want to call her a C bucket, call her a C catcher. But when she said, you want some of this? He said, oh, yes. Come on, man. We got to keep it 100. We got to keep this thorough right here. We got to keep it solid. Smash the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Y'all come on in here. Y'all know I ain't lying. I'm stir frying. He said he was coerced by them. Who y'all know is coerced? And then when they say, hey, can you stay longer? He said, yeah, how much money it is? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Come on now. What we doing? This is why I break the videos down like this, because a lot of y'all listen to these interviews and don't even know what you're listening to. But when I break it down to you like this, now you like, dang, that's crazy. I ain't even see all this stuff Ticket talking about. This dude really said that he was coerced. But then when he did these interviews with Art of Dialogue and all these other people, he's agreeing to this. He's asking, well, how much more money? Think about it.
How she would collect the semen in the cup and Diddy would be trailing right behind.
Think about it.
You know, she offers baby oil, was leaving.
All right, I was leaving. Okay, 6:53. I was leaving. Here we go right here, y'all. Look.
Me and she's like, yo, that was great. Can you stay longer?
Can you stay longer?
I had been there maybe 12 hours already. So I'm like, you're going to pay me again, right? And she said, absolutely. Hold on. She goes upstairs. She gets me some money. I can't remember how much it was off the top of my head now, but she comes back. She gives me a wad of cash and she was like, yo, how long can you stay?
Wad of cash.
And, you know, basically, honestly, I told her, well, how long are you going to pay me? She said the same amount. I said, as long as you want me to stay, that's the same amount of time. You know, you give me the same amount, I'm going to give you the same time.
Right. Game over. What are we talking about, y'all? Do y'all not see this? So, and smash the like button as y'all come in here. This dude is a weasel. So he basically said, oh, they forced and coerced me, man. They forced me. No, they didn't. They asked you, did you want to stay longer? You said, well, how much money is it? That's not force. They paid you for your services. What is this guy talking about? It was coercion. Dog, they literally paid you and you agreed to that to the services. You didn't even say, hey, yeah, man, they drugged me, man, and I was out of my mind when they asked me, and so I paid. You didn't even say that. You was like, oh, word? Oh, yeah, man. How much more time? The same amount of money? Okay, let's go. Y'all see how these people get caught up in lies? This is how the government's supposed to break shit like this down when you get weasels like these around. Think about what I'm saying to y'all. You're supposed to break weasels like this down. Let's keep going, man. Listen to more of the crap he's spewing. Let's keep going, y'all. Because I told y'all, you can't do this with me. I'm cut from a whole different cloth.
She gets me some money. I can't remember how much it was off the top of my head now, but she comes back, she gives me a wad of cash, and she was like, yo, how long can you stay? And, you know, basically, honestly, I told her, well, how long are you going to pay me? She said, the same amount. I said, as long as you want me to stay, that's the same amount of time.
Same amount of time.
You know, you give me the same amount, I'm going to give you the same time.
Right.
So I stay with her. We have an excellent, you know, like encounter. It goes really well. I like Cassie when I met her. Cassie's a very down to earth woman. She's polite. She has excellent energy. There's really no way you could not like Cassie when you meet her. This is the truth. She's a very, very affable and nice person. So I was actually kind of surprised where like 2-3 weeks later, she called me again. And she's like, yo, are you around? And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess you couldn't get enough. She said, no, I've been thinking about you the whole time. What's up? Can you come meet me at the same place? I said, all right. I go back to the London hotel. I meet her in the same place. The same thing happens again. Word for word with the freak offs as far as the baby.
This dude's toast. But he's telling y'all that he was lied to, coerced, all this. No, they told you exactly what it was. You took the money, took your ass over there, bro. What are you talking about? What is he talking about? Do y'all not hear what I'm hearing? This is what I'm saying to y'all. Are y'all not listening to what he's saying? He destroyed his own case in the Art of Dialogue interview and all the other interviews he did lying. Right? When he said today, in that, what you call it? Oh, man, well, they forced me, man. They coerced me. It was coercion, man. They did it under false pretense. No, they paid you, told you what they wanted you to do. Then, when you were finished, you didn't say, hey, man, they forced me to stay. You said, they said, hey, you want to stay? We'll pay you some more money. And you was like, how much more money? They said, we'll pay you the same amount that you had before. Oh, okay, cool. Well, ain't no problem. Then you said they call you back 3 weeks later. You're like, oh, you ain't got enough? Think about this, y'all. Think about what I'm saying to y'all. This is weasel activity. This is weasel activity, man. They're gonna lie like anybody with common sense. No, I'm on this 100% on point. Now let's listen to him.
How she would collect the semen and heard freak offs, you know, because I'm from the hood. People we all know what freak offs. Really kind of surprised where like 2-3 weeks later she called me again, and she's like, "Yo, are you around?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess you couldn't get enough." She said, "No, I've been thinking about you the whole time. What's up? Can you come meet me at the same place?" I said, all right. I go back to the London hotel. I meet her in the same place. The same thing happens again. Word for word with the freak offs as far as the baby oil, the stages of a freak off until we finally had intercourse, and then I left till the next time.
Did they give you any rules when it came to the freak offs?
I never was given a role. I was never even told the name of this was a freak off. The truth is, the only time I was ever told or given a name for what these was is the time that the first guy who testified, Daniel Phillip, and Diddy actually ran a training.
Is that him for real? Hold on, let me check.
And Diddy himself and Cassie called it a sex
we got action. Hold on.
But they never called it a freak off. The first I've heard freak offs, you know, because I'm from the hood. People we know all know what freak offs is.
That's not him.
But I've never heard it like commercially, publicly, as far as with this case until I started hearing.
That's a fake channel, y'all. That's not him. I just checked his channel. That's a fake channel. I checked his avatar. That's a channel that was just created. Hold on, let me see when that channel was created. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to see when that channel was created right now. Hold on. That's a fake channel, boy. Hold on. That channel was created today. That's a fake channel, bro. That channel was created today. That's not him. Matter of fact, let me screenshot this and put this on the screen for y'all. That's not him. He don't want no smoke with me. Trust me, he don't want this smoke. Because I do it in a heartbeat. I do it in a heartbeat. That's not him, y'all. Matter of fact, that's not him, y'all. That's a fake channel just created today. I'm about to show y'all in the chat. Hold on. I'm about to show y'all. See, this is what happens, man. You come in here, man, against the big dogs, man. Bro, I don't want no smoke, man. And dude, he don't really want this right here. Trust me when I tell y'all this. He don't want this smoke. I promise you that. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to show y'all right now. Now watch this, y'all. This is the cap that come with these dudes on YouTube. That channel was just created right now. June the 7th, 2026. Y'all see this? Now, this is the type of stuff I be trying to tell y'all. When you so again, would a real Clayton Howard please stand up? I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. Oh no, he probably listened to these videos. He probably listened to the video. He ain't want no smoke with me, man. You know, I check to see if it's real. If it's real, I'm saying to him, ASAP. ASAP Rocky. I want that smoke. Hey, that's easy smoke. ASAP Rocky. Straight like that. Y'all know these dudes, you be talking like that, man. I ain't really want that static. For real, for real. Because when I'm exposed, man, I'm trying to tell y'all this right now. Now, let's go. Hold on. Where were we at? Right here?
People, we all know what freak offs is. But I've never heard it like commercially, publicly, as far as with this case, until I started hearing this and with Cassie put in the lawsuit and the fact that the U.S. Attorney's Office was marketing him as making these freak offs.
So Daniel Phillips, he had an orgy with Diddy and Cassie, and they called it a sexathon?
Yes, Diddy and Cassie themselves referred it to a sexathon, but they called me. Daniel Phillip was already there. Cassie actually calls me and she's like, yo, do you mind watching me with another guy? And I did, because I had never been involved with her and someone else. I kind of really thought it was a monogamous situation. Diddy was not well endowed, and she just needed somebody to fill her and satisfy her. So I really believed at this time that was my role, that I was only being called in because this rich and powerful guy could not satisfy his woman. It wasn't until I got in this freak off that I saw her like in front of Daniel Phillip and Diddy with like, two penises in her face, that I was realizing like, wow, this chick is not what you think. It was actually a little hurtful, I'll be honest.
Hold on. Why would your feelings get involved? If you're an escort, why was it hurtful? Clayton. If you're an escort at that time, why was it hurtful that a woman is doing what you think these normal women do? Make it make sense. Oh, did you really like Cassie? Was that it? Did you really fall for Cassie and like Cassie? And were you, I'm asking you a question, were you jealous when you saw other men, that they had other men in there too that was, oh, okay. So now we get into the bottom of this. It was never going to be a happily ever after with you and Cassie. You were never going to be Mr. Fine, Alex Fine. That wasn't going to be you, Playboy. It wasn't going to be you. Right?
How she would collect the semen in the cup, and you were in these encounters that they went so long.
Yeah, Cassie, man. I didn't know she was getting busy like that, man. Damn.
Cassie get busy, yo. Like, even it's kind of funny because I think I was telling you, like, now that I've gone public, a lot of other providers are reaching out to me that saw Cassie. And they're like, bro, you got so much courage, bro, because everything you're saying is right. She was with this. This is what she did. And we tried to tell the U.S. attorney. They didn't want to listen to us.
Yeah, you know why they hold on. Come on. He said they didn't want to listen to us. The other guys got on the stand and didn't say what you said. The other guys that went up there and testified. And let me say this to you. You said, oh man, so once again, you guys were only there for a certain period of time. And when you were there, right, you can only talk about what you saw when you were there. Right? You don't know what happened before you got there. See, that's all a lawyer ever had to do is ask you to understand, and you're done, son. This is the same words you use for Cassie's husband. Oh, Cassie's husband wasn't in those rooms. Okay, cool. You wasn't in the room with Diddy and Cassie before you got there. You were only with Diddy and Cassie when you had to go slang deep. That's it. That was your time in their life. All the other time outside of their life, you don't know what happened. Clayton. Clayton, hey, it's easy to eat you. And see, if I was interviewing you, I'd have asked your ass that question. I'd be like, hey, Clayton, but how can you tell what happened with Diddy and Cassie outside of that time if you wasn't there? Oh, what? No. Ain't that the same thing you said about Alex Fine? You said Alex Fine couldn't tell you what happened in the bedroom because he wasn't there. So how can you say what happened with Diddy and Cassie when you weren't there? And also, Clayton, you said that Cassie testified to certain things, but didn't Cassie also testify that Diddy controlled and forced her to do this? coerced her and plied her with drugs into doing these type of things? Didn't you see the video when Cassie tried to walk away from a freak off and got dragged down the hall, beat and kicked and stomped on? What do you think? Why do you think Diddy did that? You think he did that because he was happy with Cassie for leaving? Answer that question, sir. Make it make sense. See, nobody asked these type of questions. I'd have asked him a question. Boy, I swear to God, boy, you put me in front of these cats, man, it's going to get real super ugly. Because, see, I know the real questions to ask. I know the real questions to ask these weasels. Straight up. Let's keep going.
And they're like, bro, you got so much courage, bro, because everything you're saying is right. She was with this. This is what she did. And we tried to tell the U.S. attorney. They didn't want to listen to us.
And the longest freak off you had with Cassie was 4 days, right? In Miami?
Yes, it was.
Break that down, if you don't mind.
That was a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol. It just, you know, something like you didn't even realize when you were in these encounters that they went so long, especially if they like convinced you to take the drug. Because the thing about ecstasy and Molly, those type of drugs, is they're not drugs that suppress you. They don't numb you. They heighten everything. So if you take them, you have a bunch of energy, and like your nerves are, every nerve in your body is alive because you have the sexual sensation to continue to go forward. So with drugs like these, you just stay up and you don't even realize that you're up so long because you're kind of like having fun. You feel good. So you're constantly having sex. Before you know it, you start.
Wouldn't that be the same effect on Cassie if she was given these drugs? Wouldn't that explain why Cassie was able to go so long if she was filled with these drugs? Clayton, you don't want to do this, dog. Bad news for you, brother. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this, dog. Let's keep going.
How she would collect, just ask me what I was doing during the day. And this actually went on, I want to say, for 6 or 8 months until I saw Diddy and her maybe 6 or 8 months into this. And I walk into the suite and like the first thing he does is he presses me, walks up to me in my face like, yo, man, why you texting my girl behind my back? So, you know, I kind of back up like, what are you talking about? He's like, yo, I went through her phone. It's texting there. Y'all not supposed to be texting. This is something that's a swinging activity for me and her. You shouldn't be trying to get at her behind.
So he showed you that he controlled the situation. Clayton, you're giving the whole case. Now you say Cassie went behind your back, but we don't believe you.
How she would collect this, just ask me what I was doing during the day. And this actually, Dave isn't as significant as he really was. And that's not the case, Cassie. We both know what time it was. So Diddy would watch she and I have sex, and you know it was hot. He sit there, he's high out of his face on E, Molly, ketamine, whatever concoction of drugs he's managing to take this encounter. And he might have looked at the way I had sex with her, and now he wants to do the same thing. So being high, he's not realizing that the penal size is going to make a major difference if you try to do that. He jumps on top of her. He tries to start ramming her. I've been on her, dude. It's not the same thing. And he can see that. So she would emasculate him with that. She definitely would. She would let him know that his penis was small. Definitely.
And Cassie, she used to ask you to urinate on her, right?
Oh, she asked me to urinate her for about 1.5 years, dude.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, every time I saw her, she would beg me to urinate her, to tell me how she likes it to trickle down her chest. She likes the warm feeling as it goes over her breast. And you know, in the beginning, I didn't really know her as well as I knew her as the relationship developed. So I'm a good bullshitter. I would be like, oh, I don't want to do this today. Oh, I can't
so
do
you're a
this.
good
I got a shy
bullshitter,
bladder.
right?
You got to
Okay,
cut
buddy.
water on or something like that.
I know that.
Just
I
to
know
make
you're
her
a good
think I
bullshitter.
couldn't do it. But the truth is with a woman after you urinate on her. I'm from the projects. People used to piss in the staircase. I know piss smells once it gets old. It's yellow.
Hold on,
It's
time out,
nasty.
y'all. What do you mean after you did that, dog? Dog, you sat up there and said that you was busting her down and she all over you, bruh. What are you talking about? You already said that. Bro, bro.
How she would collect the flowing down her breast over her nipples. Like she was really descriptive to the extent where I could tell she was into this. But I remember I looked at it and I said, yo, check this out. If you want me to urinate on you, we're not going to have sex. because that does not turn me on. It's nasty. Honestly, I would never sleep with a woman who had urine on her. It's freaking disgusting. So if you want to have sex, fine. We're not going to urinate. But if I urinate on you, we're not going to have sex. She said, damn, that's all you had to say, because I definitely want to have sex. So now Diddy comes in the room. He asks her what we're talking about. She says, oh, he doesn't want to urinate on me because it turns him off. Diddy asked her what you feel about that. She said, I want to have sex with him. He doesn't have to urinate on me. And they never asked me again.
Why would she have to ask Diddy if it didn't go through Diddy first? Why would she have to tell Diddy? Hey, Diddy, he doesn't want to urinate on me. Make it make sense, Buster. Sounds like everything had to be through Diddy and what Diddy wanted. You're giving the case, Clayton. You're literally giving the case, brother. You're literally giving the case, brother. Right? Yeah. Keep your own words, though. We gotta listen to your own words.
How she would collect the semen in the cup and
listen. Everything he say was in pleasure for Diddy.
Psyche, where you're not conscious of certain things you're doing. But those freak offs used to be kind of nasty, because for like days I would be coming in Cassie and she wouldn't even wash. She would just be walking around the room like it was regular.
And Cassie, she was the one collecting your sperm, right?
That started in the beginning again also, bro. I remember specifically, like, the first time it happened, I was using condoms with Cassie when they were asking me for the semen. So I remember she asked me, like, when you finish, you think you could come in the cup. And I was like, why? And she says, oh, I like to play with it. I like to drink it. He likes to see me do things with it. So I actually thought she was playing. I didn't think she was serious. But as we were involved in the encounter and it was getting longer and longer, she kept asking me, like, are you going to come? Are you going to come? Are you going to give it to me? And I said, oh my God, she's really serious. She really wants me to do this. So she asked me so much, I remember it started bothering me. And I was like, yo, you really want me to give you, like, see, I said, I can't do that. I was like, why you want my DNA? I'm not really comfortable with that. And I'll be honest, they offered me like $2,000 to give him the semen in the cup. So, bro, I gave it to him. It really wasn't no brainer.
You did it for the money.
I was like, coercion. You want 2 stacks for my semen? Hold on a second. Yoink it out, give it right to him. Here you go. So I want to say comfortably for maybe a year and a half, they were paying me to collect semen. Cassie would collect it in a wine glass, a shot glass, a whiskey glass, whatever glass we have available. And then her, and it's funny because I thought about it years later, how she would collect the semen in the cup and Diddy would be trailing right behind her like a little kid who mommy had the juice in his hand or something.
Diddy would be
what I'm saying? So when I heard the trial and her say she used to pay for put the semen on his nipple, I'm gonna be honest, it made sense. Because I'm like, yo, that's why he was so thirsty following her in the room every time she took the semen. The semen was for him. It wasn't for her. So that I definitely believe.
So now everything was for Diddy. Buster, you're making her case, man. You're making her case, brother. You sound like you wasn't coerced, brother. You sound like you knew exactly what was going on. Right? Right, brother? Again, you can fool them. You can't fool me, dog. Nope, no dice.
How she would collect sexual inducing drugs. So I made some bad decisions and I just, started giving her what she want. I slept with her so long. I'm not catching any diseases. She's showing me paperwork. You want me to dump on you, baby? No problem. She's telling me she's on the pill, so I'm doing it. Worst mistake I ever made, bro. If I could take it back, God, I wish I could take it back, bro. Because Diddy used to follow her in that room, bro. Again, like a little kid following his mommy for the juice bottle. I swear, right on her heels as she was going in the room. So when I heard that part of the testimony, it made 100% sense. I believed him.
And Cassie would tell you to come in her, right?
Oh yeah. The first time we had unprotected sex was definitely Cassie. Again, bro, like I'm trying to use the right word to respect your platform, but I was smashing it, bro. I was putting that twerking. Yeah, like it's not, it's bad to say, but it's kind of obvious. She's a beautiful woman. A heterosexual man, it takes no effort to do what you got to do with that woman. So I would go in there, bro, and I'm making love to her like it's the last day on earth, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going in on her.
Last day on earth.
The first time we had unprotected,
not coerced. Hey man, it's a pretty chick, man. I'm in that joint, laying it down. I'm giving it to her like it's the last day on earth. Think about this, y'all. Think about this. Y'all peep what I'm saying? This is weasel activity, man. Try to tell y'all this, man. Try to tell y'all this.
How she would collect the seed. Bad to say, but it's kind of obvious she's alive. Like I could feel every nerve ending. Me and this girl ended up having sex for like 3 days when she gave me this time. During the course of this sex, I believe it was sometime during the night, we were involved in the encounter. So, I'm stroking her. It's hot. She's into it. She pushes my abdomen up, reaches, rolls off the condom, and pulls me in her real quick, bro. Like, you date women. I'm pretty sure you've been in a situation where shorty hit you with the wham real quick before you knew it. You in her. You don't know what the hell is going on, but it's so good you don't come out because, like we know how we are as men. Once you get inside like that, it weakens it. It's like kryptonite to a man. You know what I'm saying?
So you didn't pull out?
So I kind of like fell into it because it was a totally different sensation. I'm high off this ecstasy. It's like, wow, I done fell into heaven all of a sudden. So me and her kind of forget Puff is even there, and we're just going at it, slow, deep strokes. And what snapped me back into the encounter was Diddy himself actually asking Cassie specifically, like, yo, you fucking him raw now? Both of us look up. She's looking me in the eye. I'm looking at her like, I'm waiting for her to say something because this is your dude and it was your idea. So what you waiting for me to say something? She tells him like, oh, I checked this paperwork. It's all good. And that bothered me because, I still thought they were in a monogamous relationship. So immediately to me, someone with some intelligence, the first red flag was, why would this woman lie to her man about seeing my STD results? The hell with that. No. I jump up. I say, yo, man, listen, check this out. I do have clean test results. I can pull them up on my phone. Can she pull hers up? He said, I thought she's seen her already. I said, I ain't show her nothing, but I want to show you because I want to see her and I want to do this right.
Oh, because I want to see her. I want to see her. Case closed. Didn't I tell y'all this? They easy to beat. They easy to beat. I want to do this. Case closed. Case closed. What is he talking about? They coerce me, man. What are you talking about? You said in our dialogue, I want to do this. You jumped up to pull out your test papers. Buster, you ran to get those test papers to prove to Diddy. You ain't get up and get out of there. And you talking about something you ain't know Cassie was sleeping with. Did you tell Cassie that you had 5 other clients before her? That's a $1 million question. Shout out to my boy Art. Art, you listening? Ask him that question the next time you interview this dude, if you interview him again. See what he say.
How she would collect, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she flips on me. What the hell are you talking about? We made a deal a couple of years ago. I know you said you're on the pill. I got a girlfriend. No, we got to be careful.
Listen.
Yeah, and we're just going at it. Slow, deep strokes. And what snars up, he said, I thought she's seen her already. I said, I ain't show her nothing, but I want to show you because I want to see her and I want to do this right.
I want to see her.
And Diddy's a man. Diddy's cool. He said, you know something, bro? I respect you telling the truth. He was mad at Cassie, but he was so into the freak off and we was going so like hot and heavy, he didn't want us to stop. So he tells her to show me her results. She shows me her results. I log in. I think it was Quest Diagnostics I was using at the time. I showed them my results, and this is how the freak offs continue. Now, the next encounter, because, like, I was high. I had unprotected sex with this girl. I was super nervous when I left. Like, damn, I probably caught everything in the book. So I go and immediately get an STD test, and it does come at back clean. So the next time I see Cassie, I'd rather be safe rather than sorry. I pull out a condom. She says, what's up? And I said, we never know what could happen. I know you said you're on the pill. I got a girlfriend. No, we got to be careful.
So you had a girlfriend. So that means you was dibbling and dabbling in other places too. Right? I mean, that's your own words. You said you had a girlfriend. You said that the test results came out clean. But the next time you went with a condom because you said, man, I got a girlfriend, man. So, great question. Great question.
How she would collect the semen in the cup and Diddy would be trained. I know you said you're on the pill. I got a girlfriend. No, we got to be careful. She says, all right. Diddy sees the condom. He said, yo, bro, what's that for? Like, you already done had sex with a Raw. You really want to put a condom on? I said, yeah, you know, I got a girlfriend and we got to be careful.
Got a
So
girlfriend.
Cassie throws the ball on me. Like, you know, I didn't have a problem without the condom. He wants the condom. So now she throws me under the bus and puts it on me. Diddy comes back at me like, yo, bro, you don't think my girl's, you know, my girl's JJ clean? Like, what's wrong with you? I done blessed you and let you hit Raw already. And now you're going to reject it. She's looking at me. He's looking at me. Peer pressure is real, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
peer pressure.
I'm thinking to myself, the STD came
So
back.
Peer pressure is real for you, but it's not real for Cassie, Buster. See how it's easy to ether these dudes, man? You don't want to step into my arena. I ether anything in sight. Ether. Let me say this again. Man, peer pressure is a mofo. So peer pressure only applies to you, huh, Clayton? But it wouldn't apply to Cassie, would it? It wouldn't apply to Cassie from Diddy. It only applies to you, right? Okay, Buster. See y'all see how I break this down? Y'all see how I break this down? Now he's screaming about peer pressure. But it's only peer pressure when it comes to him. Cassie couldn't have been pressure. She wanted everything she did. But he's telling you, nah, man, I was pressured, man. Peer pressure.
How she would collect the thing. She flips on me. What the hell are you talking about? We made a deal a couple of years ago that you were exclusively for me. This is monogamous. You're supposed to be available when I call you. She's pissed. So I'm confused, bro, because you got a whole man. What the hell are you mad at me for going with my girlfriend that you know about, that I've been dating 4 or 5 years?
So you was with somebody else.
She doesn't care anything about that. She's cursing at me. She's rude. She's like, yo, basically, if you don't come, we're done. We're done. And I was shocked by that. So she hung up on me. I think, you know what? Let me call Diddy. Tell Diddy what time it is. You know, he's a man. He got a woman. He might respect my situation enough to let me come in the morning and at least let me spend tonight with my chick. I called Diddy up. I explained the situation, and he totally agrees with me. He says, you know, let me talk to him. So he hangs up. He calls me back maybe 5 minutes later. He said, bro, she's not trying to hear that. If you don't get on this plane, she's never going to call you again. Now, the truth is, they paid me so well. They paid my mortgage when I went to see them for like 2-3 months every time I see them.
Is this correct?
So it made sense for me to go because of the economic reliance I had on what they were doing for me. So I go out there to see her. I get there maybe 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. I remember I got there late. And when I finally got into the suite after all the delays, you know, normally when I enter the freak off, it would be a bunch of little tea candle lights all over the suites, because these were really nice suites, bro. These were like duplex suites. They were like 5-star apartments in these hotels, these suites in the Beverly Hills Hotel, and etc. Diddy and Cassie took a lot of time to set up for these freak offs. Like there would be platters of baby oil, one platter of baby oil, Astroguard. There might be another platter of Ciroc, De Leon, champagne, water. The blankets would be covering the couch to prevent from accidentally damaging the furniture with baby oil. The tea candles would be all around again. So, you know, there was like a romantic ambiance to it, a sexual ambiance to the room. There was a vibe, if you want to call it. This is the only time I saw them in 8 years. There was no vibe in the room. It was dark. There was comforters over the couch, but I remember the living room drapes were completely drawn, so you couldn't see anything. So now when I walk into this room, it's dark and Diddy's in there and he just has one candle covering his face. And he's like, yo, man, she mad at you, you know, but, you know, y'all make up, but she mad at you. I'm like, all right, whatever. Cassie comes into the bedroom. She don't even talk to me. So I'm trying to, you know, but at this point, I had like 4 or 5 years and I'm a gentleman. I'm a charmer. I try to charm her. I'm like, yo, you really mad at me for being with my girlfriend? I'm like, how you mad at me, baby? Like, you know, I got a girlfriend. I can't shit on my girlfriend. That's my real life.
Ooh.
She's like ignoring me. Diddy's actually trying to talk to her like, yo, babe, you know he got a girlfriend. Like, you got a man. What you really so mad for?
Now, Clayton says, I don't lie. But Clayton, did you tell your girlfriend at the time that you was doing that with Diddy and Cassie? But you're not a liar, right? Clayton Howard doesn't lie. Oh, buddy. Oh,
too much lust involved, you know, he would be like, slow down. But this time he didn't say anything. So she's continuing to do this. And the faster and faster she's going, the more and more it's feeling uncomfortable. So now I start to tell her, you know, like, hold on, wait, let me see what's going on. She's not trying to hear that. She pins me with her hips around the couch,
She
and
pinned
she's
you.
kissing me.
Go,
She throws
Cassie.
a tongue in my mouth, like she's really passionate, and I can
Oh, so
taste the
you did
alcohol
kiss
on
her in
her
the
tongue.
mouth.
Finally, she kind of like jumps up, she grabs my manhood, and she like sits on it quick. You know, she's already
So you
wet
couldn't
from
do
what I
nothing. You
think.
got
So it
diesel, but you couldn't do nothing to
goes
get
in.
this 120
We
pound
start
girl off
having
you.
sex, whatever. You know, as a man, when you're inside of a woman,
Man,
it
you
really
inside.
doesn't. I can't say it doesn't matter how it feels, but it's a different feeling. It's kind of debilitating. Let's just be honest, as
she
men. It's a little
debilitated you with the
debilitating. It's
coochie.
kind of like
Okay.
kryptonite. So I want to get up, but I can't because I'm
Can't get
actually
up.
having sex. And it's like, oh my
Can't
God,
get
wait
up
a minute. I
'cause
want to
having
get up,
sex.
but I can't. So
I can't
she
get up with
comes
Cassie in my
quick.
hand.
Oh my God, she comes. When she comes, I feel her body weaken. So I take her, push her off, roll over, and they had some touch lamps, I remember, to the left of me on the nightstand, and I touched the touch lamp 3 times real quick. Yo, bro, it's blood everywhere. Blood on the sheets, blood on the floor underneath me, darkened blood stains in my lap. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking at her like, yo, what the hell? And she pretends like, oh my God, I didn't know I had my period. It must have just came. But the way she said it and the smirk on her face, I said, yo, she lying. So I got pissed. I'm like, yo, you did that to me on purpose? So normally when they saw me, I'm a gentleman. I'm professional speaking. I talk kind of like a white guy. They saw the black guy come out of me this day. Like, yo, you did that to me? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? So I start spazzing on her. Diddy sees me getting angrier. And he stops it. He said, yo, bro, chill out. I said, nah, I ain't chilling out nothing, dude. You crazy? Look what she just did to me. And he said, you know what? Let me talk to her. She drunk, bro. Because she's basically in my face, like telling me, go F myself. Men have sex with women all the time. Like, what's the big deal? She's discounting the fact that she forced herself on me on her menstrual cycle, which is technically a sexual assault.
But you weigh 200 pounds.
Diddy goes in the room. There may
you
be
weigh 200 pounds more than her. Couldn't get her off of you. Couldn't lift her up off you, which would have been easy to do. And not only that, you talking about sexual assault, but did you report it to the police? Okay, buddy.
How she would collect. He was here for me. Why are you doing this if he's here for me? Like, imagine how this is. Diddy's a billionaire. Cassie's a supermodel. And they're arguing over who you're there to sexually please, even though you're only sleeping with the woman. Like, I'm going to be honest. It blew my ego up. I'm like, yo, this guy is 50 million times richer than me. And he's sitting here arguing with his girl because she's mad. He's stopping her from letting me come. I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? So that, like, so it was a crazy situation. Okay, it was.
Buddy. And if I'm not mistaken, you went off on Diddy before, right? After he asked you where you get?
Yes. And it's funny because ever since I came out on social media, a lot of the male escorts have contacted me. One actually contacted me today, but I promised them I wouldn't divulge his name. I think I was telling you about it before we started this interview.
Yeah, behind the scenes, yeah.
Yeah, and he reminded me of the time Diddy was going to fight me during a freak off. He's like, yo, bro, remember when I told you it was Diddy and you was looking at him and he was like, why you looking at my face? And you was like, yo, bro, I ain't looking at you, nigga. And me and him was going to fight in this encounter. I totally forgot about it. But bro remembered it. He said, yo, I knew you was official when you balked on him like that and you was going to fight him. Like, the only reason me and Diddy didn't fight during this encounter, I swear to you, was because Cassie jumped in the middle of us and said, babe, he's not staring at you. But Diddy thought I recognized him because at the time I didn't know who he was. So he got like crazy, like, yo, why you staring at me? You recognize me? And I'm like, dude, I don't even recognize you. I don't know who the hell you are. I didn't find out who he was till after the encounter, you know what I'm saying? So to talk about the time that he and I were gonna actually like get into it, this was he asked me if I was gay, excuse me. So I go meet him in Miami. And like the routine for a freak off when I came in was I had to strip. They didn't want me to have my clothes, my phone, nothing, because they were afraid I would take pictures or do something to them, whatever. So I had to give up my clothes when I came in. It was not an option. Give up your clothes and your phone. That's it. So they kind of programmed me that as soon as I would get to them, like walking these streets, I would strip the suites. I would just strip. So I stripped, and I remember specifically this time, like Diddy was on it. He was high out of his face, bro. Like, yo, you could literally see this guy's eyes rolling in his head. He was so high. Pupils dilated, he's sweating. So it was a kind of a crazy encounter, this encounter. I remember they were in like this beautiful suite in the SLS Hotel on Collins Avenue in Miami. It overlooked like the whole Miami Beach. It was gorgeous. So Cassie takes me outside. I'm like buck naked. She's buck naked. We got all of this baby oil on us. So, you know, it's a sight to see two incredibly in shape people out on a hotel balcony like that. Cassie's like, yo, let's go inside. If paparazzi sees us like this, we're done. Good point. We go inside. She tells me she's going to go in the bedroom to finish getting ready. Diddy stays in the living room area with me. He rolls up a joint. He offers me some of the joint. You know, we sitting there as men just talking, shooting the shit. He says, yo, bro, so what you want to do with yourself and stuff like that? So I start telling him about my life, my goals, my aspirations, things I'm into.
So you and Diddy had
and
a
he's just
conversation?
listening to me real intent the whole time. So, yo, bro, out of nowhere, he says, so I'm looking at him. I was like, what? And he says, nothing. I said, what? He says, nothing. I say, yo, bro, man, like, what do you want to say? Just say it. Don't do that. Don't say something and then pull it back. Like, what was you going to say? So dude looks at me and he's like, yo, are you gay anyway? So I kind of looked at him and I was like, where the hell would you get that from? And he was like, I'm just saying. I said, nah, like, bro, where would you get that from? Look how I'm smashing your chick. Have I ever looked at you in any way like I want to smash you? Where the hell did that question come from? So I'm going to be honest. I got offended. I started saying, yo, what you want, some mook shit, bro? Like, what type of shit is you? Like, this is why you be asking me to stay in here naked? You really, like, you want me to sleep with you? So I start challenging him on it. Cassie hears the argument. She comes out. She's like, yo, what's wrong? I say, yo, this fool ass nigga, just excuse my language. I'm like, yo, this fool just asked me if I'm gay. Like, what's up with him? So she breaks out laughing. You know, now I can see he's getting tight. But bro, I ain't letting up because you don't do nothing like that to a heterosexual man and think I'm just supposed to drop it. So I'm like, yo, bro, what's up? Why would you even ask me? Like, I'm saying, yo, I'm gonna leave. I'm not with that. I'm not comfortable with that, bro. I kind of feel like you just propositioned me. I was gonna leave. He gets up. He goes in the master suite. He comes out. He tosses me a wad of money. Says, shut up. I took the money from him paying me with wads of money for years. It was like $5,000. Yo, bro, I didn't need to be told to shut up again. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I needed. You gave me $5,000 to shut up. Stop calling you gay. No problem. That was pretty much it. But it got crazier because when we go into the suite, like to start the encounter, like dude is still on it. He's still real high, like on it. So he kind of instructs me and Cassie to start the freak off with the soft play. He's sitting on a couch like I'm sitting on now.
Not Cassie.
The bed is in front of me like your monitor is. And let's say I'm off to the side, like position so he can see me and Cassie at an angle. But I used to be so uncomfortable, bro, with this man sitting here watching me stroke my penis. He used to take everything in my power to ignore him. And that's the truth of why I started taking the drugs. The drugs would help me focus on Cassie and not be so
you started taking
like alert to the fact of what Diddy was doing, you know, because it's not comfortable.
Focus on Cassie.
And in any event, he comes out maybe
that's right. He said
3 or 4 minutes into this and he says, wait, I want to eat her out. Now, I had been seeing Cassie at this time, I want to say maybe 5 or 6 years. I never saw Diddy eat her out. Never. No, he actually stopped me from trying to eat her out because I'm going to be honest. She's a beautiful.
So she was nasty, but you was trying to eat her out. Oh, so you was trying to eat the box. Did you ever eat the box, Clayton? Because you said all these disparaging things about Cassie. But you kept talking about how beautiful she was, and man, I was trying to eat the box. Huh? What? No, Clayton, not after she asked you to pee and all that other stuff, man. Come on, bro. Y'all hear this weasel? This is why I be telling y'all, man. Pay attention to the details, man. Pay attention to the details, man.
How she would collect this, that it was Diddy, because I didn't know. You know, like once I won this like sexathon that Diddy and Cassie self-described between me and him, he was a smart man. He was like, yo, I ain't gonna make an enemy out of the dude who might have just replaced me. Because I think they gave him like $700 this encounter. They gave me like $8,000. You know what I'm saying? Because he failed. He couldn't keep it up. So they gave him like a little consolation prize, a couple $100. They gave me like 8 bands. So he takes my number. I'm like, you know, I'm friendly. I'm cool. I'm like, all right, whatever. He calls me maybe a week and a half too late as he wants to get up in Times Square, Manhattan. I'm like, all right, bet. I didn't really know him like that. I thought he might have been feeling away, thinking I took his job. So I didn't go alone. I went with the homie. I'm like, yo, bro, I just need you to come with me to the city real quick. I don't know what I'm walking into, but hold it down. It should be regular, but you're just gonna hold me down. All right. So me and dude meet. I think we met on Times Square on the east side at the bowling alley, Lucky Stripes. And as we all like having a dinner looking for girls, because you know we single men, this is what we doing. We out talking, but we also
But
looking
now
for
you
females. So we sitting there with these Chinese girls, and he was like, "Yo, man, you know, like me and you we could do stuff because we got Cassie, we got Diddy." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Diddy and Cassie." I'm like, "What about them? What about Diddy?" He said, "Dude, that's Diddy in the room." I said, "No, it ain't. Get out of here." He was like, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yo, you really don't know that's Diddy?" I was like, "No, bro, that's not Diddy." The man starts breaking it down to me. He's like, "Yo, you didn't never see the tattoos? Why you think his hair is covered like that?" And he starts educating me on the fact that the woman I've been sleeping with for the last year and a half, 2 years is Cassie. You can imagine how shocked I was when I realized that he was telling the truth and this was Diddy and Cassie. I'm like, oh crap. How did you not recognize who these people was? So I think I didn't see Cassie again for maybe, I want to say a month, maybe 3-4 weeks. And the next time I saw it, it was crazy because I remember when I walked into the room, I'm holding my iPhone and some baby oil she told me to pick up on the way up. And I accidentally hit the flashlight icon on my iPhone. So the light came on. Shorty spazzes on me. Yo, why would you take a picture of me? What are you doing? It kind of reminds me of the TMZ video where you hear her cursing out the guy because she's scared that the freak off videos are going to be seen. Like, I've met that Cassie. I've met that Cassie when she thought I took a picture or a video of her. Yo, why would you do that? She runs in the room to get Diddy. Diddy come out on his Diddy gangster crap. Like, yo, bro, let me see your phone. No, you're not getting my phone, bro. I told her I ain't take no picture of her. I known y'all for a long time. I don't got to lie to you about, you know what I'm saying, taking no picture of Shorty. I told you I ain't take no picture. You're not getting my phone. He says, yo, bro, if you don't give me that phone, I said, what? If I don't give you the phone, what? I already know you Diddy and I know she Cassie. What you worried about that, bro? I know him forever. I lied. Soon as I said that, that stopped them. They looked at each other. They walked back in the master suite. I want to say maybe 20 minutes later, Cassie came out without the wig. Diddy came out without the shirt on, and they was like, yo, bro, you know what? You trustworthy. You've been with us for a minute, so why hide anymore? And, you know, Diddy's a visual guy, so he likes to create scenes. He likes to create moments. So I remember dude walked to this front window of the London hotel, like the whole window was glass, and he opens the drapes so the light come in. Now you see Cassie in the sunlight looking all good with the shot, the shaved head. Yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie, that was a sight. To see that woman in person looking like that, she's an amazingly beautiful woman. So this is how I finally got to see who they was and where the freak off started off with no mask and no cover.
And Cassie, she told you personally that she was pregnant by you, right?
Well, it was I believe it was, we were just, you know, I don't think she intended to get pregnant. No woman who accidentally gets pregnant intends to get pregnant. We just went a little bit too far. This one encounter in New York in the Gramercy Park Hotel, which is crazy. I could even remember where I got her pregnant at. At the time I was on parole. So I was checking in the parole like every week or every 2 weeks, remember, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still out in the street. I'm getting money from them. So, you know, my lifestyle didn't actually fit my income, if you understand what I'm saying. It really didn't. So I remember like specifically I go to I go to see Cassie and we have this crazy encounter. Like we probably had sex like 2.5, 3 days.
So you said that they got you on false pretenses, but you claim after you knew who Diddy and Cassie was, you kept going. You didn't stop. You didn't call the cops. You didn't say, hey man, I've been trafficked by Diddy and Cassie. I've been coerced. You didn't say any of these things. You kept going. You kept getting money on your own free will. Right, Clayton? That's what you said. You didn't say, hey, Diddy said if I don't come, it's going to be a problem. That's not what you said, buddy. Bro, these dudes is weasels, man. This is what happens when you get weasels like this, y'all. But then he going to say this today.
I'm Clayton Howard. I am the plaintiff suing Diddy and Cassie for on these freak-offs that happened all these years ago with the male escorts and all of this stupidness that you now see all over social media. So for the last couple of months, audience, I've been quiet. I'm a law student. I'm not a professional prostitute. I'm not a male escort. All of that is being constantly circulated by the media has something to do with something that occurred in my past over 10 years ago. Audience, Cassie admitted to sex trafficking me. Cassie admitted to lying on me. Cassie admitted to creating an environment that was completely deceptive of the truth of the narrative that what was going on, at least to me. people by all legal terminology, that's coercion. If she wasn't willing to tell me who she really was and what was going on, people, she was lying to me.
When she told you the truth, sir, you kept going. Case closed. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. I drops the mic on these bums, man. These dudes, man, they do it to themselves, man. They do it to themselves, bro. He just admitted in an interview. Once he knew who Cassie was and Diddy was, he didn't stop. He didn't go to the cops. He didn't go to the police. He kept doing the free calls. He kept going. Why? Because the money. Lebowski, he wanted the money. Weasel activity, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'll holler. Man, y'all make sure we get over 1,000 likes, man. Holla back.
Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.